Many of you watching this are going to easily level up your AI content creation game right now because in this video, I'm going to show you critical things that many people overlook or don't know when it comes to
Mm,
creating high
mm,
performing AI generated content.
mm.
First, we'll be using a powerful, completely free, easy to use tool that's packed with features for any skill level. It's got no paywalls and it's unrestricted. Second, I'll show you guys how to create high performing, realistic content with that viral and perfect aesthetic, perfect for platforms like Instagram, the kind of content that works and truly connects with people. Third, we're going to break down exactly how to leverage this tool with a high performing content strategy, shifting from random prompts to deliberate art direction. This is how you master AI visual content in 2025. So today I'm going to show you the GenTube app and how we're going to use it to create those trending, grainy, imperfect, perfect images that make your content pop. The links to the GenTube app will be down in the description and the pinned comments. And I will be sure also to include the prompts that we use today in this video. So if you guys want those, be sure to get those down in the description. If you want to turn your content, like the content we're going to make today in this video, into an online business, you are going to need systems, but I got you covered. For a limited time, I'm hooking up my viewers with a free auto DM comment lead and sales generation bot, so you don't have to pay for expensive tools like ManyChat. You'll never miss another comment or DM on IG. Plus, I'll personally show you how I use it to sell digital products on autopilot. If that sounds like something you need, the link is also down in the description. Sign up and book your first strategy session with me completely for free for a limited time. First, let's get you set up with the GenTube app. Like I said before, you'll find links in the description and the pinned comments. Once you're on this page here, I want you to go to the center of the screen and click on this Create button. From here, you're going to be prompted to create an account, and it's very simple to set up. So just set that up, and just like that, you now have access to a powerful platform that is going to give you unlimited stunning images, lightning fast, and completely for free. Also uncensored. Yep, no credits and no limits, just endless high quality visuals created from your imagination that, if used correctly, you can turn into views, likes, shares, leads, and profit. And trust me, as somebody that's been creating content with AI for the past couple years, you want a tool that has no limits, no restrictions, and is fast, easy to use, and gives you high quality outputs. And that's exactly what GenTube does. Once you've logged in, this is the view you're going to get. Here at the top, you're going to see that we are currently on the trending tab. If we scroll down, you're going to see a bunch of different images that have been generated by other users. Now, the cool thing about this is that if we click on one of these images, like this cat image here, and we scroll down, you can actually see the prompt that they used to generate this image, and you can copy the prompt. Let's say you wanted to experiment just with this image here. If we click this swipe button, it's going to lock in some of the different features of the image. For example, the lighting, the style, the layout, and allow us to experiment with this. So right now the lighting is locked in. So the lighting should stay the same. But if I click this click me option, it's going to rotate the style and the layout every time I click it, right? So it's keeping the lighting, but changing the rest. So that's one way that you can work on editing images inside of GenTube that already exist, right? So you don't even need to think too much about what you're generating if you find an image that you like. We also have this play button here. If we click on this, it's going to show us the blocks that were used to build this image. Now, one of the features that I love about GenTube is these blocks here. It makes it very easy for beginners to get high quality outputs. I'll show you guys how to use these in a second, but let's say we wanted to remix this image using the same blocks. We could just refresh this here, and it's going to regenerate the image again using the same blocks. If we open this up, it should be the same blocks. So perfect. That's another way to take a visual, remix it, and create your own content from that original visual. Now, if we scroll down, you'll see that it actually tracks the starting point of this image. So here's the starting point. Here is the remix we just did. And if we come down, we'll see who created it, so we can see their profile. Let's say you find an artist that you really like and you want to work with them. You can click here on this view profile button and visit their profile. And below this, you're going to see similar images. So here you're going to see a bunch of cat images that look very much like the original image. The cool thing here is that you're getting a layout of where this started, where it's at now. You're seeing who created it. You're seeing similar images to reference if you want to keep creating content like this. And basically, right here is a good starting point. And that's the beauty of this tool. If you're new and you come here and start doing what we just did, you'll start generating high quality visuals because you'll know exactly the direction your outputs are going in. Let's jump over to Instagram and we're going to check out this pure nostalgia account. Here in the bio, it says the purest nostalgia, and that is the aesthetic of this account. All the images are nostalgic, and you can see that it works well. They have 594K followers. If we click on this post, you'll see that these are AI generated images. I mean, I can tell that they're AI generated. Some people probably can't because of the imperfections in these images, like the dust there in the sky, right? The hyper realistic look of these, the glare that's coming through here, the trees, the feeling that you're looking through like a disposable camera or a DSLR, the lens effects that you're seeing. This was posted 9 hours ago, like I said, and it's doing well. So we should try to emulate this type of content. We can see the hashtags they're using, and we can definitely do this with GenTube. So that's what we're going to try and do today is I'm going to show you guys how you can really pull this off with most tools, but GenTube is going to make it real easy for us with the blocks that they have inside of the tool. Back inside of the GenTube app, we're going to come up here to the top. We're going to click where it says type to create. And here we're going to be able to start working on our prompt. Now I have a prompt saved. I'm going to just paste it in here. Remember that these prompts are down below in the description. If you want to go down there and get them and follow along, you can do that. This is a JSON context profile. Now, some of you may have heard about this circling around online, but this is the way most people are trying to generate images today because it's just a way that the models understand your prompts a little bit better. It breaks it down and allows the output to be just a little bit more dialed in. So this one here is fine-tuned to be something nostalgic, but it doesn't have any aesthetic or style really laid into it. You can see the characters, the props, the activities, the scene, the lighting, the mood, but no real like concrete style. So it's given us a sort of like a anime image down here. But I wanted to do this so I could show you guys how powerful the blocks are, which are these here to the right, which you have blocks for subject, for place, for emojis, for style, and you can actually search for blocks by clicking the search option here. Now, I like to search for blocks, but first let's start with the easiest option. Let's go to style, and we're going to set a style to this. So I already see that it's giving us like this nostalgic home family, afternoon kind of visual. But we want this to be hyper realistic. We don't want an anime cartoon of this. So let's look at the blocks that we have here. I see one right here, photorealistic. Let's add this one. So we still haven't typed anything, and I've literally just copy and pasted my prompt in, and I've added this block, photorealistic. And as you can see, it's given us like a nostalgic image of a family sitting on a couch, getting ready for movie night. But let's say we wanted to have something for like a reel. We'd come here to this gear icon, click on the gear icon, and here you can see the different aspect ratios, and you can see the option for draft mode and to also show the blocks. So I'm going to change it to the 9:16 aspect ratio, which is best for Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts. And let's see what it generates. As I make that change, you'll see that the tool generates this again. Now, down here at the bottom, you can see your past generation. So let's say I wanted to go back to that last image. You just click there and it'll go back to the last image. Let's come back here to this image in the new aspect ratio. And as you can see, it looks great. Now, are there imperfections? Yes, it kind of looks like there is a bit of this um, sort of like DSLR look, right? But let's keep adding blocks to this because we can really continue to add stuff to this till we get the visual that we're looking for. Right now, I think this looks good. I think you could keep generating images like this with different styles of families, and it would have the nostalgia effect that we're looking for. But let's try to keep adding imperfections to this. So let's see. Vintage photo is another one. Let's click on vintage photo. All right, so cool. Looks again hyper realistic, like a vintage photo, but I still want to keep adding more imperfections. So here's one 1970s color. Let's click on this. Cool. So I like this one. It looks again very realistic, and we're getting these slight imperfections. Let's come over here to the search, and I want to show you guys this feature. Let's search for grain, which is something we'd want to add. So vintage retro photos, what comes up? Let's add this. We already have a block that says vintage photo here, so you may want to remove it. So right now we got this generation, but if we remove one of these blocks that are similar, we'll see that it generates the image again. And sometimes I've noticed that removing some of these repeated ones will take you in another direction, maybe more of the direction that you're looking to go in. See here, it seems like um, a little less realistic than the last image, but let's keep messing around with these blocks. So now we've got grainy here, which is another good option to make it look more realistic. But as you can see, as we add some of these blocks, sometimes the outputs get a little bit too crazy. So you got to, again, add, remove, but let's add some more stuff here. So we got this vintage look. And again, these are styles that we're adding. You can also add a place. You can add subjects. For example, if we do 8 millimeter film, it'll probably give me like almost like a portrait style image. There you go. So it's a portrait style image. And if we remove it, it should go back to what we had before. So let's click here on these three dots and you'll see all these selected blocks that you currently have. If you want to clear them all, you can click on clear all. But all I want to do is remove the 8 millimeter film subject because really we don't want to mess with the subject too much in this image. We just want to mess with the visual aesthetic of it, right? Let's see if I can find maybe some DSLR looks. So if I type DSLR, there you go, DSLR, hyper realistic human 8K DSLR, flux context 2.0, photographic realism, photorealism. Let's just click DSLR. And let's add some more stuff here. So let's do lens. So we want to add like some lens flare. So let's come down here to style. It says vintage camera lens. Let's add that vintage camera lens. And again, I want to edit here the selected blocks until we find kind of what we're looking for. Let's say you've got all your blocks in play. You like how the visual looks, but there's just something in there that you want to change. For example, here, this character has 4 legs, and I think the popcorn maybe shouldn't be on the floor like that. We can click this button here, and this will use these same blocks, the same prompt and everything, and it'll just regenerate the image. And I've done this before. Like once you find the setup, everything looks good. You can just click this a couple times until you find the visuals that you want to use. See, I think this one looks better than the last one, and we can continue to do this until we get closer to what we're looking for. Let's generate another image. We're back here on the profile page, and I quickly want to show you this. You can see that it says 710 creates, 1 remix, and 1 like. The cool thing about GenTube is that it also works as a community platform, right? So other creatives, when they remix or like your work, you're going to be able to see that here on your main profile page. And then down below, you can see the images that you've been generating. Let's paste in another prompt, and I want to show you something that I love about GenTube. Basically, as you change up the prompt, it will show you new images below without you having to like hit enter and prompt again, right? Other tools, sometimes when you make a change, you have to run that prompt again. Here, it's automatically going to run it as you make changes to the prompt that you have in here. So let's get rid of, for example, grandparents' house. Let's just leave like nostalgia. Let's get rid of activities because I think that's going to just keep humans in the shot. I'm going to try and get rid of the humans in these visuals. Let's get rid of grandparents, kids, and let's just leave the pet cat. And actually, I deleted there a part of our prompt, but it's fine. I think it's still understanding it. Down here, we've got props and then the environment. So let's see if it got the pet cat. I do not see the pet cat in this image. So let's try this again. And let me see. It might be because I actually deleted something here. So let me try to put a delimiter or something in front of this and see if it reads it better. There we go. So now we've got a pet cat. Now it's probably not the best delimiter, but it worked. And let's look here. There's the pet cat. Now the only thing is, again, the aspect ratio. We want to change that to 9:16. And now it's got rid of the cat again. It looks like it tried to put it here in the corner, but we can just always remix it and run it again. And there's the cat. Here's a nostalgic kitchen. Definitely. This image is perfect. And what could you do with this kind of content? Think of it like this. Let's say you're a chef or somebody that wants to get recipes out to people. You can create a bunch of nostalgic kitchen content from different eras with this tool quickly, fast, schedule it out to post on Instagram, use a tool like the one I have that I'm currently giving away to people for a limited time, which is auto DMs. Connect your content with the auto DMs and a lead magnet, and you can start getting your recipes over to people and start building a community just with this simple tool here. Now, back in the day, if I wanted to do this and get creative like this, it was way, way harder. So no matter what anyone says, if you're a beginner or a pro, you got to understand that having the right set of tools and being able to jump around with these tools and having daily users that you know are great for specific things is what you want to have in your lineup. And I think this tool is going to be helpful for a lot of you guys. So remember that the links are down in the description and in the pinned comments. There's also going to be some extra prompts for you guys to use and mess around with a different niche, because really, guys, you got to get creative. Let me show you something you could do. This is Instagram, and this is the interior design niche. You could definitely generate these images with a tool like GenTube. Here's a quick tip. If you want to come up with ideas, visuals for content, just go over to Instagram, use the hashtag feature to see what people are posting related to that hashtag, but focus more on what's doing well, what visuals are really getting reactions from people, like likes and comments, and then leverage that, right? Like here we see this retro cityscape view, but you could definitely do this with AI. Also, don't forget to add a little bit of editing to this. This example here, you could definitely generate an image like this and just add the text inside of Instagram right on top of it to start your carousel and then share movies like this. If you want to replicate the content that you saw today, be sure to go try out GenTube. The links are down in the description and the pinned comments. If you want to turn your online content into a business, you're going to need systems. And down below in the description, you're going to find a limited time offer where I'm going to hook you guys up with an auto DM bot that you can use on Instagram to get more leads and more sales. I'll personally help you set it up and show you how you can use it the way I do to get leads and sales on autopilot. If that sounds like something that you're interested in, make sure to click the link below and book your first strategy session with me completely for free. Watch the video that's going to show up here on the screen and keep learning how to use AI tools to create viral content. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.